Hello everybody, my name is Jolteus Rayconicus, aka Ren, and we all know that I've been recently talking about V-Card. We all know it. Some of us love it, some of us really don't, but we're not here for that today. I'm talking about something a little bit different today, while still delving in the same area of, the internet. Today, we are going to be talking about a different card game known as Rift Runners. Now, Rift Runners is a relatively newish game. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it came out late 2024. So within the past 4 to 5-ish months. I'm not 100% sure on that. And I was invited to take a look at this, just go over the rules, just see my own personal thoughts on it, and I thought it'd be really fun. Plus, I didn't really have anything else better planned, so I figured I might as well do this. Anyways, so in this video, we're just going to be taking a quick look over rundown of what Rift Runners is, how it's performed so far, what kind of stuff they got, what type of cards, how well they've been doing market-wise, and doing some little comparisons here and there between it and other card games like V-Card, or even just some other big-name cards like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, etc., etc. Now, before I actually get into delving into this, I do want to make some things very clear. First off, this is not a comparison video to something like V-Card. This is strictly me just doing an overlook of Rift Runners, what it has to offer, what it currently has, how well it is doing. Whilst yes, I will be making comparisons, I don't want to harp on that too much. That is not what this is. That is not what this video is for. Maybe I'll do that for a different video, comparing this, V-Card, a couple other TCGs, sure. That is not what this current video is for though. Secondly, the reason why I am doing this video is, and I feel the need to be transparent about this, for those of you who have been keeping up with this new quote-unquote VTuber TCG trend that's kind of been going on recently, a lot of you may know the individual by the name of SpeedRobo. He's done a bunch of videos on V-Card as well as this, as well as plenty of other TCGs, as well as just gaming, game design as a whole. And he reached out to me and invited me to look into Rift Runners, said, hey, what would it take for you to look at this? And it's like, I just want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. And I said, yeah, screw it, I'll look into it. This seems interesting. So here we are. I just felt like being transparent about that because realistically, without him reaching out, I don't think I would have touched this, at least not nearly as soon as I would have. I probably realistically, if I were to have done other TCGs and then maybe found my way into this specific card game. But again, huge thanks to him for inspiring me to do this. And the third and final thing, this video is also not going to be a summary or a synopsis of the rules, everything that has to offer. I'm not going to go through every single rule, every single stipulation. I'm not doing that. I have already read through all of the rulings and know how gameplay and those mechanics go on, but I am not going to go over everything because that would take too much time, as well as further explanations that I will explain further along into the video. So to start off, the reason why I'm not going to be explaining the rules is because they already have a video to explain the rules for you. Unlike V-Card, that for some reason I had to do for them, and other people also did, but I digress. They already have a full-fledged out tutorial, very short and simple. It doesn't touch up on all of the rules, but it does give a visual aid to how gameplay works, all of that. Very, very helpful. Thank God they made this. When they made it on launch, I am not entirely sure. I am looking at this from the perspective of in the now. Not necessarily from when it was created. I didn't keep up with it when it was created. Again, like I said, I'm not entirely sure. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of all of the info that I have as of right now. Now, before I start touching up on any more of the rulings or any specifics on that, I highly implore everyone to go watch the tutorial that they have, as well as if you so want, read the guidelines for the rulebook that they also have, because they have a full-fledged rules. They very much specify interactions, all that snazzy jazz between different cards, different stuff, all that snazzy jazz, So to start off, this game very, very much plays a lot like Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's also very much branded like that. I'm pretty sure in their branding, I'm paraphrasing, but almost verbatim, they state that they want this to have the feel of like the early 2000s to late 90s aesthetic for card games as well as gameplay. As someone who grew up on Yu-Gi-Oh! It was my very first TCG that I ever played with my friends. It is very much like Yu-Gi-Oh! In my opinion, I love that. is very, very good. It's very, very fun, simplistic the way that they did it, whilst also sprinkling in their own aesthetic and rules and whatnot, and swapping out some of the ingredients to where it is very much still its own thing, and you can look at it and Yu-Gi-Oh! Side by side and very much clearly tell the difference between the two. Now, when it comes to its similarities to Yu-Gi-Oh!, I could see the argument for that being a good and a bad thing. On one side, you could say, oh, this is a lot like Yu-Gi-Oh! I like VTubers. I think I'd have a lot of fun with this. I already play Yu-Gi-Oh! This would be great, so I don't have to, learn a whole entire new rule set. It plays very similar. But at the same time, I could see players definitely going, oh, this is a lot like Yu-Gi-Oh! Are they just copying Yu-Gi-Oh? Why would I play this as opposed to something that already exists, that has already been working for the past 25 to 30 years, Once again, I personally love the rule set. I think it's very, very good. They explain things extremely clearly, and they even give certain Q&As throughout the rule book to express very specific interactions. It's very, very good how they listed out the rules. Very, very good on them. One little nitpick that I did see through the rules, though, were a couple of typos, misspellings, and some grammatical errors, but that's only a little thing. It's fine. It's fine. Basically, just a very, very simple synopsis. It plays like Yu-Gi-Oh!, but it also has a bit of Commander / Card Fight Vanguard sprinkled into it, where as you can see on the screen right now, you have this gold card, which is called your Monarch. It basically acts as a effect that is always active throughout the game, and it also makes it to where you're building around your Monarch. I love the idea of building around one specific card for a deck and having it really push that aesthetic. The one issue that I really do have with Yu-Gi-Oh! And sometimes other card games is that toolbox cards, so random cards that don't fit the niche and the aesthetic, you just throw in purely because they're good, I kinda don't like. That's just a personal thing for me. I very much appreciate lore and aesthetic and just pure build decks, especially for things like Yu-Gi-Oh! And for quite a while now, throughout the meta of Yu-Gi-Oh!, there has been a lot of toolbox cards being thrown around there, especially with hand traps and stuff like that, that you just put in every single deck because they're just that good. I kind of don't like that aesthetic. I feel like it dims down the actual personality and character that a deck and the actual lore that those cards have. I'm very much love lore, so I feel like that kind of dumbs it down. But for gameplay styles like this game, for example, like Commander and Magic the Gathering, like Card Fight Vanguard, like Domain format in Yu-Gi-Oh! For example, because of the deck restrictions, it very much kind of eliminates the toolbox thing and more so wants you to focus on an archetype, onto a tribal, onto this very specific aesthetic or gameplay strategy or lore and this specific archetype of cards. I very, very much appreciate that in card game design. And I hope that future TCGs, for me personally, continue down that route of more so developing their rules based off of one specific card, like a Commander, like a Vanguard, like a Monarch, because I just find that type of gameplay very, very fun for me personally. I understand not everybody is like that, but that's just a thing that I very, very much appreciate about this game personally. And from the rule sets, I very much like it. It is very, very good. When I was reading through the rule sets and whatnot, all the rules, pretty much I had very few questions about. I immediately got it. I immediately understood it. There was very, very few paradoxes, and the ones that I did see immediately or almost immediately corrected within the next page or two. And the good thing about the rulebook is that it's all just on the website, as well as they give you physical pamphlets in their products as well. Very, very good on them, instead of just having it only be digital or whatnot. So that way you can always have it on hand. If I don't know, maybe if you don't have your phone on you or maybe it's dead, you can still have a pamphlet on you. So that way you can still have the rules at you at all time. And it's 30 pages long, as well as each of the pamphlets specifically, they also show a rarity guide on all the cards that are within the certain sets. So it's here you can see all the rares, commons, ultra rares, yada yada, all that jazz. All here. Yeah, very good that they added this, and I hope they keep doing this, because then this also helps for people who are trying to collect, already have an automatic list. They don't have to go searching and scouring the internet trying to find what cards they may be missing. They have a full list right here. I think that is amazing for what they do. Moving on into the sets and the actual physical products. They have 2 sets currently as of right now, being Frost and Flames and Shimmering Waves, and they have a 3rd one coming out very, very soon. I believe, based off of what I've seen of the Kickstarter, maybe sometime around Q2 of this year, maybe at the beginning of Q3, somewhere along those lines. But that's just a guess of mine, don't take that for gospel. Another thing that they have, starter decks. Something that VCard unfortunately did not have, and I saw a lot of people very much complaining about there not being starter decks right out the gate. It has 2 starter decks, and with the 3rd set coming, they are also going to be making 2 more. So by like Q3 of this year, they're going to have 4 starter decks, so you get plenty of variety to choose from. When it comes to prices of the products, each of the sets are $65 a box, and then the starter decks are $17 a box. This is in USD. For the starter decks, I think that's very fair pricing. I've seen higher, I've seen lower. I think $17 for a starter deck, totally fair. I think another cool thing would be to maybe do a bundle to where it's like, oh, if you buy both or you buy like multiple, maybe you get a little bit of a discount or something like that. That'd be cool. When it comes to how many cards are in a box, as well as like pull rates and all that stuff, the first and second box have different pull rates, but they have the exact same amount of cards. For Frost and Flames, this is being their 2nd set, it has 20 booster packs with 9 cards in each, which in total equates to 180 cards. This is 100 cards less than V-Card. Compared to other card games, I'm not too sure, but however, one box of this set is $65 as well as the other set, both $65, whereas for V-Card, they were $90 USD, but you could also use a discount code on Gamer Subs in order to get them for cheaper. Then again, that was also counterbalanced because of shipping and handling as well as taxes, so there's that. Whereas this, they also have a discount code. You can use any of the affiliate codes for any of the VTubers that are in this game, which I will talk about those individuals soon. And you also get 10% off. Now, for comparison, I have not bought any of this product as of yet. But when I bought a box of V cards from Gamer Subs, it cost me, for one box, as well as a free pack of sleeves that they gave, it cost $103 USD just about. And that is including the box itself with a discount code and shipping and taxes included. That is the price that I had to pay for being shipped to the US. When it comes to this, I don't know how much in total it would be, but 65 as a base, obviously it's cheaper, looking at it like that, but you do get significantly less cards. But this is also not a limited time product. This does not do FOMO in the slightest. They just have it up on their website until stock runs out, which they still have. They still have plenty of stock available, as well as there's other ways to get the cards as well before they even post them on their website through Kickstarter, which I will also be going into that later here. Now, like I said earlier, the pull rates for the first and second sets are different. I think one reason was because they also have a different amount of cards total. The second set has 173 cards right here, and then the first set has only 160 cards. Now, the way that they list the pull rate specifically for each of these sets, for the first set, they list it by how many you get per box, whereas on the second set, they list it via every single amount of packs you get. But another thing about this that I honestly really like is that commons can be replaced by higher rarity cards. I think that's really cool. And then the starter decks, they're pretty just simple, straightforward. You get a rulebook, 52 cards, pretty much all the essentials you need to start a game, as it should be. As well as they just have like a full list of every single card and the amount of copies that they have in the starter decks. Very helpful, so that way you can like kind of look at it like, okay, do I want these cards? Am I looking for these cards to collect? Do I want these cards competitively? Yada yada, just for like ease of mind, in case if you like buy a box set or buy some packs and then it's like, oh, I already have most of these cards, so there's not really need for me to buy a starter deck, and then you'd be good. So yeah, looking at the starter decks, I got no complaint on those. Like I said, pricing's very fair. Again, I've seen higher, I've seen lower, but I think $17 USD, very fair. Now, one other type of card that they do have are these gold foil cards. Now, each individual foil card, there's only 40 of each of them in existence. Every single card has a gold foil variant to it. I know that through the Kickstarter, you can get some of these as pre-order before the sets actually fully release. That, and also, as you can see here, on their official website, you can just buy them whilst they're still in stock for what they have left over. As of right now, they still have 26 left in stock. If you want to buy them, you'll just get a set amount that's here. That is also listed down here. You get listed the exact cards which you'll be getting here, and they have these for the first set and the second set of a wide variety of these cards. And I think $50 to guarantee you'll have these extremely rare cards that they'll never reprint again, at least in this specific art with the gold. I think that's very fair, especially with the fact that you can pre-order them to guarantee you also get them as well. I think that's very, very fair. And see, they still have plenty of listings for the sets of cards that they have. Most of the set 1 cards are gone, but they still have plenty of the second set cards as well, still up. Now on to all of the talents of this new card game. What I love, absolutely love, that what this card game did, they took indie VTubers and put these in. Not just like the very popular VTubers or even the popular indie VTubers. They took all of these niche VTubers, the people who maybe only have anywhere between like 200 to maybe less than 1,000 like viewers on Twitch or whatnot, or whatever platform they stream on. They took those, they contacted them, gave them a chance. I am very, very appreciative of that. I have so much admiration for them for giving the people who need it most the spotlight, not just giving it to the people who already have plenty of fame, who already make a living off this. To the people who need it most, they are giving attention to. I very, very much appreciate that. Some of these people I actually know of and actually watch, Ren being one of them. People like Ren, as well as people like Chibi and Crumpet and Sayu. The latter 3 will be coming in the 3rd set if you're interested in any of them. And they have a very, very wide roster on here. They have like, I'm not gonna count, but they have like probably like around 60 VTubers here, and they're gonna keep adding more and more over time. And I know that every single one of these characters have a different gameplay design. Some of them are far more aggro, some of them do more control-based strategy. Like, they all have a different gameplay strategy in the card game, and that just makes them even more unique and even more special. Something that VCard did not do was give variety in the cards necessarily for the actual talents themselves. They just kind of did, okay, we have this VTuber, just give them an element, just copy and paste this specific effect or list of numbers onto each of them, and just keep doing that over and over again. This is much more concrete to what an actual card game is. It has variety. I love that so much variety in gameplay. They all do different things. You can even like combo all of them together. You're not gonna have the deck be only one VTuber. You're most likely gonna have like maybe 3 to 4 VTubers, but you are going to be focusing on one specific VTuber based on how the rules go. Regardless, I still think it is very, very good for the game to have so much variety in gameplay as well as talents. I'm very, very much appreciative. This is like the best thing. I love this. This is probably like my favorite thing, that they gave the spotlight to so many different content creators. Now, moving on to looking at their Twitter, as well as just like how well they've been doing marketing wise. As I've stated before and kept stating, I am looking at this from the present. I have no like knowledge of how they have done in the past, as well as like how things have gone since then. But when you look at someone's page and you see that one of their sets is funded in 10 minutes, you know they're doing good. They are doing fantastic. Completely funded in 10 minutes is amazing. And this Kickstarter is still up, which I will show here in a bit. But just seeing this, how much popularity they've been doing, they've been getting plenty of views. They've been posting constantly. They've been keeping up with their viewers. They've been letting their viewers be aware of the stuff that they are updating, as well as doing reveals of cards, as well as showing off what VTubers will be debuting in the card game, as well as even some of the people who are in the card game and what their thoughts are on the TCG as well, just kind of, you know, continuing to spark and promote the product as well. And one thing that I did mention earlier is that Chibi is in the card game. Chibi's so funny, by the way, go watch her. She's a amazing little dork. But one thing that she did specifically say that I didn't know, she is not only in this card game, but she says that she is also going to be in other future card games as well. I hope that throughout not only this card game, but other VTuber TCGs, that they continue to invite these talents to be in their card game, regardless of whether or not they're in another or not. Because if a card game was just like, oh, you're already in cahoots with this other card game, we're not going to invite you to ours, then I feel like that's pretty scummy, as well as it just kind of hurts everyone. It's like you don't allow this content creator to be a part of your product. It can sometimes dwindle you down because you don't get the support of the community behind that talent. I feel like continuing to like invite people, invite talents to work with you regardless of that is very, very good. And Chibi has already expressed that, and I think that's very, very cool for Rift Summoners as well as these other card games that are coming out. I think that's awesome. Instead of just trying to gatekeep their own company, being like, hey, we're not going to work with you if you work with these other people, saying, yeah, we don't care, come and join the fun. That's awesome. I love that. I feel like that's a thing that some people might gloss over for these types of things when it comes to entrepreneurs or these face talents actually joining these companies. I feel like that can be something that doesn't always come to mind, but it is very, very important that these companies are aware and are willing to like invite people regardless of their correlation to other companies. I think that's very dope. But yeah, once again, when it comes to marketing, I haven't looked too much into this. I literally just pulled up the Twitter like 20 minutes before recording. But yeah, they seem to be doing fantastic. Okay, the next bit of this video is going to be a bit of a flashbang, so fair warning. So I've been talking about the Kickstarter for a lot, as I said, and as I have shown. It got funded in 10 minutes. The goal was apparently only $500. They got 20K as of right now. That's amazing. 86 backers, they got it funded 21 days ago. That's right at the end of February is when they launched this. And like I said, they have Chibi, they are going to have Crumpet as well as Sayu in the game as well as plenty of other talents. If you're interested in any of them, or you're just wanting to find some other VTubers to watch to enjoy for entertainment purposes, then hey, here you go. Just go, even if you don't play this game, go watch them. They're amazing, they're funny, they're dope. As I was scrolling through the Kickstarter to see what tiers they had for pledges and whatnot, I got more and more hype the further I scroll down the list because these are insane. So what we have here first and foremost for some of the pledges, and you can still pledge to this, by the way, you can still pledge to this as of right now. I don't know when they're going to end it, but you can still pledge if you're ever interested in this, as well as I believe they do Kickstarters for every single set they make. So ever interested, it's right here. If you ever just want to show support, you can just donate $1 just saying, hey, thanks for making a cool game. Keep doing what you're doing. Simple as that. And then every single tier after that, you start getting rewards. For the first tier, you get one of the 2 starter decks that's coming out next, as well as just some free packs. Next set, you get both starter sets and even more packs. The next tier, you get all 4 starter sets, the ones that are currently up on their website, as well as the future ones coming out, and you get packs from every set. The next set, you get all of that, plus tokens and a playmat, and even more booster packs. The further and further you go down this list, the more and more value you get, and it is so good. It is so good that they're like giving so much to their consumers and whatnot. They are such good deals, honestly. Like if you have the time and you can get to these pre-orders on Kickstarter, do it. They are so worth, because like I said and like I showed, the booster sets on the website, they're like 65 right now. But if you just donate, like let's take, for example, here, this next set, the gold tier, $150, you get all 4 sets, 2 booster boxes, and these special cards for pretty much the same price that you would be paying for just 2 boxes. That is an amazing deal. And the deals keep getting better. Now, obviously they get more pricey, so depending on your budget, you might not be able to afford these. This next one's $250. You get all the decks, you get the boxes, you get tokens and a board, all that jazz. And then you just keep getting more and more. You keep getting more starter decks. You keep getting more booster boxes. You keep getting more packs. You keep getting more stuff. And on the $600 one, I understand not everyone has that budget, but if you are a collector, this just gives you every card. It straight up just gives you every card. That's insane. That is absolutely amazing. Another tier, every card times 2. And like I mentioned the gold cards earlier, you get every gold card here now. Now later on down the list, it starts getting to ludicrous numbers, to like 3K, 5K, 7,500, and then 9,001. They are really squeezing out that single dollar here, but yeah. These later tiers, you're probably not gonna invest in unless either you just have stupid money, or you're like a company and just investing into something new. If you're not any of those, probably not gonna ever get those, but that's totally fine because they have such a wide variety of different pricing for tiers that you can get. It's awesome. I love it. It's amazing. And throughout the actual like listing of it, they have an intro, what it is, again, that how to play tutorial or whatnot. And one thing I didn't mention that I forgot to, that I'm glad this showed, they have this available on Tabletop Simulator. So that way, if maybe you don't have the cards or you don't have the money to buy cards, and you still want to play with your friends or whatnot, Tabletop Simulator. I believe Tabletop Simulator on Steam is like 15 bucks. So if you feel like paying that to play for free on that, then hey, there you go. Looking through this, they just continue to show the tiers, what specifically they give, just in a more simplistic format with less words. They even explain what a VTuber is, like what talents are throughout the community. They even show like plenty of the people, again, that are going to be in the product and in the game as well. All these wonderful and beautiful people right here. And they even have like a little history book of what they showed here is like how it all started and whatnot and how it's going, you know, all that snazzy jazz. Just a little timeline of like how they've been doing and how they got it to this point now. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that Rift Runners has to offer. Just a simple synopsis and overview of everything that they got going on, to the products, to timeline and whatnot, how they're doing, how they look in the future. And now my actual thoughts. This is amazing. Compared to something like V-Card, this just takes it out of the water. It's amazing. The rules are very concise, easy to understand, especially if you played other card games like Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, as I mentioned. Very much like that. The gameplay is also just fun and enjoyable. It's nice, it's concise, it's very well thought out. The pricing for the products and all that, it seems very fair. I personally would prefer maybe a couple more cards or a couple more packs per set, but that's just a me thing, at least in comparison to what I saw from V-Card. But I mean, I'm a consumer in this perspective, so I mean, obviously I'd want more stuff, but you know, that's fine. I love what they do for like how they sell and distribute the cards, just leaving it on a website until it sells out instead of just doing FOMO tactics. The gold cards, same thing. They let people who want to pay the premium on Kickstarter, and then for any that is left, they just leave on their website to whoever so happens to want to pay for them. And the Kickstarter, it provides so much value, so much value. You can get so many more cards, so many more sets, the extra starter decks, the extra just like tokens and the playmat, as well as just, if you're willing to pay enough, just getting one of every single card at least, amazing. Especially for the people who are just collecting. And even if they one day, either the company or someone in the community makes a singleton format for the game, that's gonna be amazing. I love singleton format games. It makes deck building way more simplistic. I very much love singleton format stuff, which is why I love Commander and Domain. And last but not least, once again, putting the spotlight on to the talents who need it most, to the people who don't have as much popularity or don't get as much shine. I very much appreciate them giving attention to them. For downsides, I got nothing. Like, the only thing I could maybe say is like, oh, just put a couple extra packs in a booster box. That's about it. But again, because they give so much value with the Kickstarter, that balances out totally fine. The prices are totally fine. Their marketing is totally fine. The way that they're distributing the products and just leave them on their website until they're sold out, totally good in my books. They are doing an amazing job. I have pretty much zero complaints. They're doing amazing. Who knows, maybe my opinion is skewed based off of like the mess that happened with V-Card and just looking at all of the downpour that had and all of the flaws and whatnot, and maybe just looking at this, just being like, something good, and maybe my perspective is just being outshined, and maybe too much like goodness is being shined into my eyes to where I can't really see the negatives. But again, like I said, I don't really see that in this game. But yeah, they're doing an amazing and fantastic job, and I hope they continue to keep doing what they're doing. And I hope that they get more recognition as well, because they freaking deserve it with how much that they are giving and providing to their consumers, as well as, once again, to the talents in the game. Very awesome of them. That's about all the thoughts that I have for this game and whatnot. I would absolutely love to do more content on this game, whether it be gameplay or just opening products or whatnot. I'd 100% be down to further delve into this. As well as, I know some people in my comment section have been asking for me to look into other card games. I know specifically one person asked if I would look into the HoloLive TCG, as well as I personally know that Merryweather also has their own TCG that they made, and them being very fond of Yu-Gi-Oh! I do have high expectations for that. If you guys want to see me look into those things as well, look into overview of the rules and their products, how they're doing, I'd be down to do that as well. But I would also love if you know, like, any little sub, a little like here and there, you know, keep watching my content, you know. I know it's been freaking a month since I've posted. Procrastination issues, you know, it's not an excuse, but, you know, trying to work it out. Hopefully trying to get more content out more, as opposed to, you know, just randomly whenever I feel like it, but, you know, I digress from that. And once again, thank all of you for giving the time out of your day to watch me, to help support and like all my stuff and whatnot. Just comments, give me your thoughts as well on all this. I very, very much appreciate it. It always warms my soul. I'm very, very grateful for each and every single one of you, and will continue to be for the rest of my days. With all of that and all my thanks being said, I hope each and every single one of you have a blessed rest of your day, night, evening, dawn, dusk, whatever it so may be for you. And see you guys in the next one. Peace.